Hey guys, welcome to Deep Junk. It's a special day in the garage today. We're talking about vans. 70s Vantastic vans. That's right. Your build off time has come, and I'm going to show you my van. We're going to take a look at the other guys. Let's see what they've got. Outlaw Speed Shop, Diecast Resurrection, and Hodges Hot Wheels and Diecast. I just wanted to step outside here and get a breath of fresh air and talk to you guys a minute before we dive into it. When I talked to George and we come up with the idea, I was looking for a van. There's plenty of them. Everybody makes them. You know, Johnny Lightning and Green Light, all that. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, anything you want. Dodge, Chevy, Ford. Had this like Dodge in front of us here. It's cool. It's got some custom doors going on. They're kind of swooped back. The sliding door on the side is gone. Rear is all cleaned up, no hinges in that. Panoramic roof, a lot of detail inside. You could do a lot with it, but it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I did meet this guy that had a van. He said he had it for sale, and he was from up north. He's a trailer park manager from up north. Jimmy, I think was his name, and he said he had a van from a failed business venture a couple years ago that he would sell. So I took a look at it, and no, I couldn't use it. There's just no way. So I scratched that one, and what we finally decided on was the Spoiler Sport. Hot Wheels Spoiler Sport from 1977, designed by Larry Wood. It came out first in red lines. It came out just in the red lines, then went to black wall, and shortly after that it went to in its 1980 when it was recast, it went to a bigger back window with a parachute on the back and changed it up a little bit, but it's been around ever since. Just the shape of it, the style, the spoiler, it just reminded me of 70s Autorama kind of stuff. So that's what I chose. Sit back and we'll show you how it went and get you a reveal at the end. Alright, let's check out the body. After stripping off that black pearl, I knew it wasn't going to stay. I just wanted to see what it looked like on there, and it wasn't the paint. It was just not the look I was looking for. Looks like a little body work to do here. We've got some casting marks there, a little extra material. There's a bunch of extra material here on the nose. That'll have to come off. Get rid of these lines here. Now the spoiler. You see that on there? The big old crater. Get that in the light where you can see. These little marks right here, that was me being a knucklehead, and I grabbed the thing coming out of the stripper the first time and clamped down on the soft material. So I did those marks. That big crater, the one here, big old porous hole, is shown through on the underside also. There it is. So we'll have to fill that. And not too bad otherwise. Got some scuff marks in it from the brass brush. We'll get the body all smooth, because everybody loves a smooth van. Okay, more progress on the van. Found some wheels that I like for it. We're using the Green Light Krager SS. Some big ones in the back and some small ones up front. It's looking pretty good, except I like the way the back ones sit. A little wider, just hanging outside the body, but the fronts are a little too wide for my liking. I want those narrowed up and set in, so the axle and the spindles will narrow up and get it to just come out to the edge of the body line, and I think that'll look good. The chassis Again, it's real clean, not a whole lot, you know, to do there. Once I get these wheels narrowed up and the chassis is done, I can do the thing with, you know, putting a little metal in there to make an axle tunnel and get these set in place. As far as the underneath, think like Motorama, one of the car show deals. You know, you see them things with jack stands where things are polished up and chrome plated and painted underneath. This bottom, for this build off and the theme of it, the van and that, it's got to be just as cool and clean underneath as it does up top. So I was going to spend quite a bit of time polishing and doing some stuff under here, and that'd be pretty cool. The body's coming along. A lot of these casting marks, that big nub that was up on the nose, I'm taking off with my file, just some light file work, followed up by a little sandpaper. That green scuff pad, I like that, and of course steel wool doesn't hurt either. That porous hole up here on the spoiler I got to deal with yet. I'm going to throw probably a little lightweight Bondo in there, some putty. The idea is to get the body to look good with as minimal filler and primer as possible. And my preference, I don't use rotary tools. I do a lot by hand. That's just my preference. For some of the detail, like around the hidden headlights and these doors, I use an old X-Acto knife blade, and it's harder than the Zamac material, and if you're careful you can score around your details and get those lines more defined, and then you won't be in danger of losing it if you have to put some primer on there. If you have odds and ends to fill, there's a booger right there that needs done. The underside of that, you can see that hole up in there. That's the one from there. But that's the idea, is to keep it you know, true body work and get the metal looking good without a bunch of fillers. Other than that, I mean, it's coming along. I should I'll work on it today, and I've got my color. I test shot some color that's going to go with the theme of the van, so yeah, looking pretty good. After this, we'll be on to paint, which is going to be a little bit more involved, but for this project, we gotta go all the way. All right, just show you here when I'm doing this base. I'm hand polishing this. I could probably do better. Well, I could do faster work with a rotary tool, but I decide to polish it by hand. I've got things on my mind. I would rather do the body work and polishing and stuff like that by hand. This was a clean microfiber towel, and from doing the polishing and then rubbing, you know, the polish off with the microfiber, that is all the stuff from the chassis that you see there. And I'm real happy with the way that looks. Pretty good. Sweet. And there it is, all finished up. Now I know what you guys are thinking. The van's just black. There's no sparkle on it, there's no stripes, no flames, no naked ladies, nothing. It's just black. This guy's gone crazy. The cheese slid right off his cracker. Before I get into my mental condition, when I started this to build off with George, at the time I was back and forth with some doctors, and I needed to have a back surgery pretty bad, and they got it cleared. So it was a now or never kind of thing, and it wouldn't have looked good to me to say, hey, can we postpone this? I'm going to build off on YouTube with some diecast guys. So the surgery, and immediately after that was a good 2.5, almost 3 weeks just done. So what it did was it is a kick in the bag. I mean, let's face it, you know, I had something in mind and then had to change direction. But I just flipped the script on it, and instead of in your face, pow wow factor, I had shot some colors and was trying to get a deal where I could hide some details that you guys would have to look, you know, really look hard. And I did it. I mean, in inside light, you can't hardly see anything. You almost have to take the thing outside to see it. So with the help of this flashlight here, I'm going to show you on the side here. Going with the wedge shape of the van, I used a little wedge in there with a lace pattern. I laid that in. The paint does have some fine sparkle to it. And up on the spoiler there is my wolf howling at the moon. It was started out as a joke, really. It ended up on the spoiler. The model altogether, the car altogether, I really like. It's just clean. And I heard Time Riders talking about this in a video the other day. At this point in his modeling career, he doesn't want to do just good or good enough. He wants to do better, the best that he can possibly be. And that's what even with changing this and not being happy with it at first, I wanted to do the best that I possibly could, which was then to make it very, very clean, very elegant, hide some details in it. I hand polished that base. There's a couple hours there, a couple hours in hand sanding the body and doing all the body work by hand. No rotary tools. That's just my preference. The back side of the van, laid out that tail light. Shine that in there a little bit, I guess. Laid out that tail light with some Alto chrome pen with some stoplight red on it. Gives it a nice, you know, a deep red look in there. Custom. The interior, it is a blue tinted windscreen, but I did the seating in blue to go with the blue tinted windscreen against the black. You've got the gauge pods in there and stuff detailed up. The ride height, worked on that to get it right down and low and even to give it a good look. And even there we go. So that's it. Sorry to disappoint y'all. I was looking for something different, but you know, when things come along, things happen. You just take it as it comes and you deal with it. I want to thank George over at Hodges Hot Wheels and Diecast for suggesting the build off and guys accepting me in. The other guys there, Austin at Diecast Resurrection, Keith at Outlaw Speed Shop. Appreciate you guys. Go over to their pages and check them out. They've got, I'm sure they're gonna have, you know, they've got great stuff. I'm sure the vans are gonna be just wicked. You check those guys out. I thank everybody who subscribes, everybody who's checking out the channel. I appreciate you so much. After this, we're gonna get back into some more muscle cars. We're gonna change it up. There's some trucks and stuff coming up. It'll be fun. Again, I appreciate everybody, and I will see you in the next one.